Hey everyone, Shaun Stevenson here, author of the Throne series, and today I have got another haul for you because we were taking some books to a used bookstore that gave you credit for trading in books. So we took a bunch of books in and then got credit. So I got a lot of books to share. So let's dive right in. So first of all, I did get actually some of these books at some used bookstores and other places too. So it's a little bit of a mix. There's a lot of different stuff here, all kinds of different kinds of books and some really fun finds. First off, okay, I found an entire series I had never heard of before. It's a YA series from the 90s and it's called Extreme Zone. These are by, oh wait, it's covered up because this is the next library copy. Oh no, I can't tell who the author is. I'm not sure. I gotta look inside. Wait, who is the author here? It is... I can't tell who the author is because this is covering it. This library sticker. Wait a minute, I can find out who. I know I can. Let's see. Looking on the copyright page... Mark C. Summer. So maybe M.C. Summer? M.C. Sumner? Yeah, that's got to be it. M.C. Sumner. So as far as I can tell, there are 8 books in the series, and I've got all 8 of them because they were all ex-library copies at these used bookstore for like 99 cents each. So this is book number 1, Night Terrors. All these books kind of seem like an X-Files kind of style story about YA, and maybe a little different than X-Files in a way. So this is Night Terrors, book number 1. And then book number 2, Dark Lies. Book number 3, Unseen Powers. Book number 4, Deadly Secrets. I love these 90s titles. It's so great. Number 5, Common Enemy. Ooh, that eyeball. I didn't even notice that. That's so creepy. Oh, it's on all of them. Oh, is something watching these characters? Aliens? I kind of feel like this is an alien series. That's kind of what I'm picking up. Number 6, Inhuman Fury. The photo on the front is so ridiculous. So ridiculous. And number 7, Lost Soul. And then number 8, Dead End. I think this is the finale of the series. So these look highly entertaining. I love these kinds of books, like this kind of old school YA sci-fi sort of spooky book. So we'll definitely check these out and find out what they're like. And then I found another Fear Street book, and I actually was not aware that this was another Fear Street series, but this is in the Fear Street Sagas series, and this is book number 7, Children of Fear. So this looks super interesting to me. Like I said, I didn't know that this was another series. There's a lot of Fear Street series because there's like the Super Chillers, there's the regular series, there's 99 Fear Street, and then these Fear Street Sagas. So I am super intrigued to read these. I'm going to definitely have to find, since these are numbered, I will have to find the earlier ones. Yeah, because it says up in the corner there, number 7. So I'm going to have to probably find these and read them in order because I have a feeling the storyline continues like that. And then I found so on a totally different note, I found a book that it's sort of like another version of like Redwall kind of books. I actually really love Redwall. I read a ton of them back in the day. I've probably read about half of the series, but I haven't read them all, but I've read about half of them and I really love them. Redwall is kind of like it's a series where it's like medieval, but there's like animal creatures like rabbits and badgers and things like this that are the characters in the story. So this is another series like that. It's called the Green Ember series, and this is the Green Ember story, which is book number 2 in the Green Archer series, The First Fowler by S.D. Smith. So this is a shorter book, definitely not as long as a Redwall book, but it has great cover art, I felt like, and I saw this for super cheap at the store, so I thought, well, I'm going to pick it up. I haven't read any of these yet, so I got to find book 1 in this series, and I think these go along with another series that's called the Green Ember series. So they kind of all connect, so I'll have to check it out. And then this was a fun, spooky find. They actually had 2 versions of this book at the store, and I chose this one because the other one was an Apple paperback, and this one said Point on the top. This is Tales for the Midnight Hour by J.B. Stamper. These are stories, like short stories of horror. And so there's a bunch of short stories all throughout the book. And I love these kinds of short story anthologies. I think they're super fun. I really enjoy them. I've really always enjoyed like Anthony Horowitz's horror story collections he has, and like the Disney, even the Tales from the Haunted Mansion series. Those are so much fun. So I'm excited to read this one. And then I found 2 more in the Star Wars Young Jedi Knight series. This is a YA series from the Star Wars universe back before Disney owned Star Wars. So this is back when like the Legends books were canon, and I will not make comments on that because I know it's super divisive to people. So I try to stay positive. So this is book number 2 in that series, Shadow Academy, which I did not have this one yet. I'm recollecting these because I had read all of them back in the day, but I don't know what I did with some of them because I know I had more of them, but I don't know what happened to them. My brother had some of them, so we kind of traded back and forth. So this is book number 2, Shadow Academy. These are all about Han Solo and Leia Organa's kids, Jason and Jaina. They're twins who are at Luke Skywalker's like Force Training Academy, Jedi Knight Academy. That's, yes, Young Jedi Knights. So they're going and learning about the Force and learning how to use their power and do all that kind of stuff. So these are a lot of fun. I highly enjoy them. And then this, I believe, is number 6, Shards of Alderaan, which this one has Boba Fett in it, which is super fun. And then this was kind of a random middle grade spooky book that I found that I thought, oh, that looks super interesting. I love these kinds of books. It's not in a series from what I can tell, but this is The Mysterious Matter of I Am Fine by Diane Stanley. So this one looks super interesting, kind of creepy. It has that 90s kind of style. Like, look at the clothes they're wearing. That is the most 90s stuff ever. I love it. So I think this one looks really interesting. It's not super long. It's kind of like that middle grade, kind of shorter style. And I think it is a standalone from what I can tell. So I'll definitely have to read this one. And then I found another ghostwriter book. So this one is called The Clinton Street Crime Wave. And this one is by Laban Carrick Hill. So I loved Ghost Rider, the show back in the day. I've been slowly finding these and picking them up as I do. I still got to work off that sticker that was left over from some previous purchase and sometime in the past. But I really enjoy these books. I think they're a lot of fun. And then I found one. I have been searching for one ever since someone said, hey, have you ever read these? And I finally found one and I grabbed it off the shelf. I was super excited. This is a Wishbone mystery, Tale of the Missing Mascot. So this one is book number 4, and these are all mysteries in the world of Wishbone. If you do not know what Wishbone is, go look it up on YouTube where you are now and find out about Wishbone, because a lot of us 90s kids that grew up like in grade school in the 90s, we learned about classic literature from that dog, Wishbone. And then I found 4 more Bailey School Kids Adventures books. So I'm finally rounding out some of these series that I've been like slowly collecting, and I found some more. And these are all like so cheap at the bookstore. They're like 10 cents. So I'm just thinking, I can't pass these up. I've read 2 of these Bailey School Kid Adventure books. The Adventures of the Bailey School Kids. That's how it goes. And they're really entertaining. I really enjoy them. I think they're very interesting because they're definitely for a young audience, but they are not written down to that young audience. These books take their audience very seriously. So I found book number 4, Leprechauns Don't Play Basketball. And this is one I absolutely remember reading back when I was in grade school. I am so glad to have my own copy now, and I can't wait to reread it. This is number 12. Cupid Doesn't Flip Hamburgers. Number 34, Frankenstein Doesn't Slam Hockey Pucks. And then this one, I was super excited I found. I'm going to have to read it because it's in spooky season. This is one of the specials. It's like the holiday special series. And I believe this was number 2 of the holiday specials. This is Aliens Don't Carve Jack-o'-lanterns. So I will definitely have to read this for spooky season right now because this is Halloween themed and it's one of the holiday special books. So I'm excited to read this. And then your most problematic children's book series ever from the 90s, I found another Bernstein Bears book. So I found this one I think could be really interesting. And again, I'm a little afraid to reread it. I read all of these back in the day. But this one is The Berenstain Bears and the Female Fullback by Stan and Jan Berenstain. This is in the big chapter book series of Berenstain Bear books, which I did have this one as a kid. I had sold it at a garage sale. It was my own choice, as I've said before. But I am very nervous / curious to read this because I have no idea what's going to happen in this book. So we'll find out what this one's all about. Oh, I am so excited. Okay, I have been watching for this book to go to the used bookstore, mainly because the regular hardback edition that was out was so expensive. You know, I usually buy middle grade and YA books. Even when I buy new ones, I buy middle grade YA. That's like the stuff I love to read. I love reading those books, as you can tell from my library. But I do like some adult fiction here and there, and I especially love thrillers. And when I found out that one of my favorite podcasters was writing a novel, it was on my list. And so I have been watching, because when this book came out, it was like $32 in hardback. And I thought, I'm not used to paying that much for a hardback. I know some people don't care, and they're like, what, this is like every day, Shaun, what are you talking about? But for me, that's a lot. That's a lot for a book. When I'm over here buying Adventures of the Bailey School Kids for 10 cents. So I finally was watching for it to go to paperback. Then it went to paperback. And in paperback, it was still super expensive. It was around like $20. So I found a copy used at the used bookstore, and it was only $7. And I thought, all right, that's it. I can get it. $7. I'm good with that. So I picked up Ashley Flowers' book, All Good People Here. Ashley Flowers is the host of the podcast Crime Junkies, which I love true crime stories. I think they're really fascinating and interesting to hear. And so I was super excited about this book, and I cannot wait to read it. It's a thriller mystery story, so it should be pretty interesting. This is on the top of my list of books I want to read, which I feel like it has a fall vibe. There's like a barn, and like harvest season is in this, so I'm going to take it as a fall vibe and go for it. Okay, I was so excited I found these. I have not been finding these in the wild as often. They're very difficult to find, but I found 2 more I did not have yet. And I was so excited about this. In fact, I found book number 2 in this series, which I have reviewed book number 1. So I was super excited to find book 2 because I've been talking with some of you about this book series, and a lot of you have been saying that these books kind of not like build, but the characters do flesh out as you read through the different books. So I kind of have been leaning towards wanting to read them in numerical order, even though it's a spooky middle grade anthology series from the 90s. What series am I talking about? Graveyard School. I found book number 2, The Skeleton on the Skateboard by Tom B. Stone. Tombstone. Anyways, so I found this one, and I'm super excited to read it. I think these look super fascinating to me. I loved the first one, the Don't Eat the Mystery Meat book. That was really good. It kind of had a slow, a little bit confusing beginning, but once I got into it, I thought, oh, this is a great book series. So I am excited to jump right into book 2 now that I know some of the characters a little more, and I can explore the different places in the town a little more. So I'm excited to read this one. And then I also found book number 12, Scream Team. So I'm excited. I'm obviously going to be a while before I get to this one because I got to find other books in between 2 and 12. But I was super excited to find this one as well. I felt like, wow, these are like 2 of them. And these were 25 cents each. 25 cents. I couldn't believe it when I found them. I kind of grabbed them and gasped and looked around like, does anyone see these? Or am I the only one excited about them? Probably the latter. And then this is a book series I've been hearing a lot of booktubers talk about recently, especially booktubers who like spooky books or who like middle grade spooky books. And this is a book in the Monster Street series by J.H. Reynolds. And this is called The Halloweeners, which is another perfect Halloween book. A lot of people have been talking about these. So I found this one used for like $1 and I thought, all right, I'm going to try it. Let's see what happens. I'll see if I like it and see if the hype is real. And then I found another book that I've been looking for, and I was super excited because I have book 3 in this 4-book series, but I haven't wanted to read it yet because I thought, oh, I don't want to jump in on book 3. I don't know if these books build on each other. So I found book number 1 in the Welcome In series, which is called Secret in the Moonlight, which this is the wildest thunder lightning storm I've ever seen. And there's like a ghost ship back here. This looks super interesting to me. So these are by E.L. Flood. They're kind of based on like an island from what I can tell. And there's mysteries and maybe some spooky stuff. So I'll have to check it out and let you know what it's like. And then last but certainly not least, I am glad I found this. Maybe there are only 2 books in this little series, and I have read book number 2.5. And now I have book number 4.5 of this 2-book series. And what book am I talking about? I'm talking about Gooflumps by R.U. Slime, Eat Cheese and Barf. I actually weirdly enjoyed reading the other book in this series. I think it was called Stay Out of the Bathroom. And I'm not gonna lie, even though that book made me feel a little nauseous. I've never felt nauseous reading a book before. And I'm super worried about how this book is gonna make me feel, but I'm glad that I finally have it because I do want to read it and see what it's like, especially now that I've read even more Goosebumps books. I am so curious what ways they're gonna make fun of Goosebumps in this book. So hopefully I don't get sick. I will definitely plan my meals carefully when I read this book. So those are all the books I found on this recent book haul. I am so excited to read all of these things. There's just so many books to read. So many books to read. I gotta get reading. Okay, I'm out of here because until next time, everybody, keep reading. Bye.